Hi guys. All right, we're kind of running out the gate on this one. So just take what resonates. Bear with me, I guess. I can't think of the right words. Okay. So this is kind of what's coming through is like we're living we're living in a time of enough self-awareness of all of these like mental health and these traumas and these separations from self, I guess, this broad knowing, and yet at the same time it can be very depressive because it's like, okay, but there's only so much I can do about it, or it causes me all these problems, etc. And our brain wants to like just focus on the negative or blame other people, blame the world, blame our parents or whatever. But what's coming to me is like, especially I'm thinking of like ADHD, because I know I talked about impulse control yesterday. And not even just ADHD, but any of them, and even autism with my son, like there are lots of moments where it's frustrating, and there are not even necessarily, yeah, I mean, sometimes, yes, sometimes frustrating. And it's in many ways, it's a superpower that he has. I wanted to speak to that because it offers us opportunity for connection, and it's so easy to miss that. And I've seen this happen many different times where the people who have like all these special needs have this incredible support system around them. And then I want to send immense prayers and love and protection to any family who's struggling with that right now, because I also know what that feels like, and how it like throws you into like agoraphobia, and like you start to lose trust, and then you lose hope, and it's a very scary spiral. So a very painful spiral. But there's so many times that the people who have special needs, people like, it's how do you even describe it? It's like, I can't think of the word to describe that, but it's like this like cluster of like support. And it's so beautiful because these people create this team and this compatibility, and this like, and that's to me what's so crazy about human nature, is that we are so profoundly capable and so profoundly adaptable and resilient and able. We have, and that, I'm going to piggyback off that debate, I'm not sure what you would call it, last night with Sadia Khan and the guy interviewing her, where she said that we are created in a way that we have the potential to love, we have the potential for connection. But that's why it's like so many of these things are choices, because we also have the potential to destroy each other, and we have the potential to hate each other and to backstab each other. So it's like we forget how those are choices, because it's so easy to gossip, it's so easy to talk shit about people, it's so easy to hate people, and even though I'm like, it does depend on your vibration. I mean, if your vibration is maybe too low, I mean, there may be, because you do have to discern that, and like keep your energy protected, and don't, that's self-love, to not allow people around you that just want to bring you down. But, and I guess we don't get all that understanding as to why that is. I mean, it may be that some people just want to play the demon or whatever, and that's, I'm trying to be unbiased about it, like whatever. Like, it is tragic in a sense, because it's like, waking up to certain things and these different traumas, and you had like no control over certain things, especially sexual trauma, because I don't know why that keeps coming up. And I've had a lot of interesting experiences with people and that have experienced that, and we're living and because of the way that our culture is, it's like, it's very easy to just stay in that cycle of eroticism and like hypersexualization, hyper sex, whatever. Like, it's easy to stay in that cycle and not actually heal those parts of us. Because you just start to see more and more why there's natural law, why there's karma, why God's like, okay, like, can you see that all of these things are illusions, and you need to follow me, and like you need to be virtuous and disciplined, and there's reasons for it. It's kind of like, to me, that's how it starts to seem more and more, is it's like there's this desire to be reckless sometimes, or to just bypass the shadow, or like bypass the hard work and the discipline. And I think that everybody needs to experience, and, you know, whatever your life is, you know, it's your journey. But it's like karma and these different things, these different boundaries keep us from just wilding out. Like, I have to give this analogy because it's just coming up to me. Like, it comes full circle to like how it is parenting, and it makes sense because it's like it all starts from your roots. So it's like if you grew up in an environment where there weren't boundaries, or the boundaries were blurred, or you were like whatever, it was like there was a like strict here but not here, and I'm trying to be unbiased. I'm not judging any, and there's all kinds of parenting styles and stuff, but, regardless, it does shape how you continue to move through the world. And, it seems like so often our wild, outlandish behavior is like a cry for help, or is a cry for like somebody put me in my place. But then it's painful, like it's very hurtful. So it's like, you know, I know like yesterday, it was like, I really felt like I needed to defend myself, but I also know that it's very aggressive. And I think that sometimes that's needed, because it's like, I think of that, my son, it happens not all the time, but once in a while we get in a power struggle, and it's like, I need to set that boundary and I need to uphold it because that's what he's looking for. And it's the same in any of our relationships, because women are the same way. That Sadia Khan, go look her up if you want to. She just seems to be a wealth of knowledge. I don't know. I really connect with her, but you may or may not, but, and she's a psychologist on like specifically on like relationships, and there's another term with oh man, maybe it'll come to me later. I can't think of the term. Women are looking for that too with men, because if a man is leading, if she's looking for a masculine to lead, to create that polarity, which is a healthy relationship, to me, from all the observing and like situations I've been in, he needs to have boundaries. He needs to not just let her get away with anything. Like we need to check each other. So it's like there's a need for that on both ends, and a woman needs to not just because the woman, I'm trying to think of her place in that. I guess the same thing, not just let a man get away with anything. Or if I feel like if a woman starts to feel unsafe about something, to bring it up and be like, this is a problem, you know, like, and because I've let my boundaries be bulldozed, and that then it ends up being resentment. I mean, it's just like, you can't, that's what I mean. Like, there's just some things about the way of the world and the way we relate to each other that we can't just ignore or brush under the rug, or try to bypass. So, you know, that courage to be vulnerable and have clear communication and speak to what's going on is difficult, but it creates that safety, so that then you start to feel more and more comfortable to continue those conversations and grow together and learn and all of these other things. And it is interesting because we're so behavioral. I mean, I've experienced so much. I've had such an interesting experience with all of it because of my kid, because a lot of times he'll just act out his feelings. He doesn't always speak to them. And so, but it's helped me learn so much more, have such a deeper understanding about human behavior, and that we all have needs. Like, it's very normal. It's not even just normal, it's just how we are. And so yet we've created this culture of like hyper independence where we have so much pride. Like, I feel like it all comes down to that. It's like, it's always this pride that we're like, oh, okay, I can just do it on my own. Like, oh, okay, I don't need you. Oh, okay, you're going to be mean to me. Bye, block. And I know, like I said, I know I've blocked people too, but I sat with it and thought about it before doing it. And I have mixed feelings about it, because it's one of those weird things that it's like, I do think that we have to protect our energy, and that's an act of self-love and self-respect. And yet, if I'm always doing that, I'm not letting anybody in. And then I don't want to say it's cowardice, but it's like, I'm closing my heart off. So you eventually start to close your heart off if you don't ever let anybody in. And then it creates all these self-trust issues. So, it's like we can't just bypass the need to communicate and connect with each other too either. And so we've created this wild culture. I mean, it's like you cannot avoid I'm going to get to the cards, y'all. This is just all pouring through me. So we can't avoid, like, I'm so passionate. I want to go back. I want to study psychology or like something with relationships. Cause I mean, you can't avoid this like dating, disaster. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. Like, it's wild because, and I've seen some different people speak about men versus women and like how we can handle being alone. And like this one girl spoke, on energetically, like women, we have our menstrual cycle is literally releasing toxins every month. And that also is like a filtration, I guess you would call it, like a filtration system, because it's taking that whatever from the environment and releasing it. And so women kind of in that way, and the way our chromosomes are, like women actually help men in some way to like release their toxins. I don't know, I have to research that in more in depth to like really know that, but it does seem that way, that like men, there are studies about men living longer lives if they are with a woman. And it is what it is. Obviously toxic relationships I don't think are healthy, period, so it's like you still have to be all in to do the work. But I think that we can't just, I don't think we'll survive as a species, if we just try to bypass our need to, be in relationship with each other and have good communication and, connect. So it's like we've created a wild environment where there's all of these different types of connection, but it's like we're still always seeking that intimacy, it seems like. And that's just my personal stance on it. So take it, whatever resonates from that, or leave it if it doesn't fit for you. Okay, because we have, right out the gate, we have the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands. So they're giving that you're in a strong position right now, feeling very confident, despite all the fuckery, right? Okay. Okay, so there is this Five of Pentacles and this Four of Cups. So you might just be downtrodden. And, I understand that too, that when we're in tough places, like we have that crap. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. We have that, we act out like we're gonna be crazier when you're going through a lot. Like I said, I've experienced different stuff like that all the time with my son. So I can be very understanding, but because of that, I've also had to set strong boundaries, because I've given, I played the wounded warrior, or the wounded healer, sorry. I played the wounded healer, and you learn, especially after doing so many things on your own, having to heal yourself, you're like, okay, we are all capable of healing ourselves, and there's a lot of reason for that, because we drag each other down. We drag each other's ship down in certain instances when we can't hold ourselves up. So, okay, I'm going to leave the boundary thing. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, so we've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. We've got the Sun and the Hermit. 6 of. So there's kind of there is some sad energy, like, we got this King of Pentacles reversed again, but the Seven of Swords is reversed, or like might be coming out of that space. And then we have Betrayal and the Hanged Man saying, yeah, surrender to what's going on. Let me see if I get anything else from these cards, and I'll wrap this up, guys. Thank you to everyone who listens in and who recent subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. This journey is not easy at all. So give yourself freaking pats on the back. The Sun is looking at as a very positive energy in this. So obviously you're going to have to move through this depressive energy. Then we have the Hermit too. So that's giving me maybe you need some respite right now. And maybe especially mentally. But I mean, trust your intuition. We've got the High Priestess here, and be confident in who you are. Because even if there's conflict going on around you, or you're having to move through or having to face certain things, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Like, because I do feel I don't want to be overly aggressive. I want to keep coming back to myself to have that safety within myself, so that I'm not projecting or shaming men, but to me, a man's job is to create this, be the container and be that safe space. And so it's okay if you're still healing that and any of that, but then that there is this need you need maybe retract your energy if you are bringing a lot of stress or anxiety to a woman. Like, that's always going to be a turn off. That's always going to be, or it's going to make me feel unsafe, because I'm wanting a man to like step to be the leader. So that's going to make me feel unsafe. So whatever is going on, you are enough, you are whole, you are beautiful, you are powerful. We are all very flawed, every one of us. So whatever you're moving through, give yourself loads of grace. Again, guys, this is meant to be a business, so I'm just using my email for personal readings. You can also send a donation. I appreciate all of you. We can do this. We can get through it.